today, as we do this exciting project, I saw the light on a 24-inch saw blade. Hi, welcome to another episode of The Rock and Roll Painter. Today we got something new and exciting. We got a 24-inch saw blade here. I know a lot of people like to paint these saw blades, so I thought it'd be good to do one on this show. Just a couple words about the prep. Just lightly sand off any loose rust, paint it with a Rust-Oleum primer, and then I applied a little gesso because that accepts the oil paint a lot better than the primer on the blade. And then I just kind of tape around the outside, the teeth. Just when I pull that off, it'll get a nice framed effect. Don't have to put it in a frame. It just makes it easier than trying to paint all those teeth. And also in here, I just kind of freehanded the shape of a barn. Put that on there and taped it over. That way I can paint the sky and not get the barn dirty. And I got a little silo here, kind of freehanded. This is all just kind of freehanded to make it work. And when I pull, after I paint the sky and pull these two things off, it really gives a nice effect. So with that, let's get started. We're going to start with we'll start with a 1-inch brush, get a little bit of cad yellow. I just want a little bit of yellow coming up over the horizon here. Get a little bit of yellow. So when I decided I wanted to do a blade for the show, I didn't have one. So I put the word out on social media. Does anybody have a blade they could help me with? And my friend and cousin Tommy Blevins came through. And so when this blade is all done, I'm going to give it back to him to add to his gallery. So I hope he likes what we do today. So we get a little bit of that cad yellow. Kind of getting the sun coming up over the horizon. And without even cleaning the brush, I'm going to go in some cad red light. Some cad red light. Add another little color here. Now that hole in the saw, sometimes you got to plan it accordingly. This time it's not going to be the sun. I'm just going to pretend it's not there. Sometimes you can work it into the painting, but today it's just the nature of the beast. It's there. We're just going to work around it. Maybe it'll be a UFO up in the sky. Who knows? You know, we get a little bit of that cad red coming down into the cad yellow, all the way out to our edge here. Bring some of that red up there. Lightly pull the two colors together so you don't see where one color stops, the other color ends. Now I'm going to wipe that brush off a little bit because I'm going to go to some blues. I don't want any of that yellows in the blues, get a green sky. I'm going to come to some cerulean blue. Cerulean blue. We're going to put some of that cerulean blue up here next. Going to really get the feel these colors all working together, really get the feel of the sunrise. It's kind of going to be back over here is why you're going to see me a little bit at an angle. Sun's kind of back over here. We get some of that cerulean blue going all the way up here, kind of pull it down into our reds. Pull it down into our soft reds. These colors kind of have a pastel kind of look. Kind of be a soft color look to the sunrise. Now I'm going to go with some ultramarine blue. We're going to darken it up here a little bit. Ultramarine blue. Really get it dark up in here, which will pull your eye down to the center. Down to the barn and the silo. Get some of that ultramarine blue going up here. Pull those two colors together. You color all the way over to the edge. Get some more of that color. It's a lot bigger canvas than some of the things we've done, but we'll see if we can get it done in a certain amount of time today. Now we want just a little bit of black with that blue. A little bit of black with that blue. Just to darken it up a little bit more. Kind of look like some dark clouds pulling that way. Kind of pull those around. So really get some dark colors over here. Now I'm going to go with a bigger brush, just kind of soften all that out. Soften those colors out. With the blue and the reds come together. Soften up here with the blues and these blues come together. Big hair on the blade, we'll take that off. Soften those all together. You can see some of the white left in it to give the feel some distant clouds, and we'll pull some of that color, some of that dark color back over and lightly go over it all. And there's our sky beginning to go for our little sunrise here, a little sunrise. Like I say, I like sunrises better than sunsets, but it all depends on how you like to see this painting. All right, I'm going to pull off here and expose the ground. I'm going to leave the silo and the barn covered up for a minute. Pull those off. Get a little bit of my clear medium. Kind of get this covered down here. This clear medium just helps the paint move around. Helps the colors blend together. We get some of that clear medium all the way down over the bottom of the saw, all the way down to our tape. Now we're going to go with the same brush, a little bit of burnt sienna, a little bit of yellow ochre, really tap, get that brush opened up. I'm going to put some grasses, but we couldn't get these grasses in here once we started painting the barn, so I'm getting them back in here now before we start painting. And a little bit of this colors right here. Kind of move around, get to feel some grasses growing back there. And once we start painting, I'm going to really light those up right through there. I just want to get some of those grasses up where we couldn't paint them once we pulled the tape off. Now we can get busy and pull some of this tape off the silo. Expose that silo there. Expose this barn. So you drive around the Midwest here, especially in Indiana, you can see a scene like this any day of the week. Any day of the week. So that's what kind of inspired this. But I like that, the play on words. So this painting is I saw the light. I saw the light. Playing on the fact that it's a saw blade. Get rid of that, keep my hands clean. Now once again, I'm gonna get a little bit of that clear medium up onto the barn. Just a little bit more of that clear medium, just so our paint will move around. We get it up here close. We don't want to pull any of that sky color down the barn. Some more of that clear medium, get some clear medium onto our silo. So I should have used a small flat for that. I got a few of them here. I might as well use the right brushes for that. Get that silo all wet. Get the barn all wet. Now we start painting some boards on this old barn. We'll just go with the small flat brush that we got. I like this one back here. We're going to go with some black and some white, get a gray kind of color. Get a grayish kind of color. But back here, these boards are out of the light, so we don't want these too bright. That's a little too bright. We'll darken it up a little bit with some black. Try to keep these boards going straight. These old weathered boards back here. Over this side, you got that eave hanging over a little bit, so we got to remember to keep that into play. We get some boards going all the way out there. That's kind of an opening, kind of a lean-to, so we're going to leave that open. But now these boards are a little brighter because they're on this side of the light. So these boards over here will make a little bit brighter. Just get some boards going in there. Okay, well, we're still got this color. Let's get some of these dark colors. This is an old wooden silo. It's an old wooden silo. So it's made out of wood. Let's get some of those boards coming all the way down there. Get all the way up to the top. Keep those boards coming down. As you get down over here, these boards are going to get brighter. So we'll pick up a little bit of our white. Be a little bit of highlight on this side. It's a little bit lighter color board. Make that one a little lighter too. Helps give some nice shape to that old silo. And this old silo, the way they kind of held them together, there'd be a little bit of a ring. Like a little metal ring that kind of went around that. Think about the perspective. There's a silo and there's a barn, although we need a little bit of, we need some black. There might be a window back here. Might be a door. Door hidden right there. Now, what I want to do, Tommy Blevins, who has this saw, he likes collecting old cars, so I'm gonna sneak in an old car back here. I'm gonna sneak in an old hot rod. Here's a radiator coming down here. Kind of the front control arms and the bumper coming over. Clean that brush up. Get a little bit of blue, a little bit of a grayish kind of color. Might be a little bit of a headlight showing through there. This old Roadster. Get a little bit of white. Since those are glass, you might see a little bit of shimmer on there. Now we want just some gray kind of color again, kind of a dark gray. You might see a little bit of the, it's a little light. We might need to darken that up a little bit. Let's get some black on here, darken that up. It's supposed to simulate the tires on that thing, but they're a little light. But it's going to be hidden by some tall grasses. And back through there, you might see a little bit of the engine and the hood coming through there. Let's clean that up. Let's get those tires a little blacker, a little darker. There we go. Kind of get some roundness to those. Just the illusion. Now there might be a little bit of light dancing through there, so you might see a little bit of highlight on that radiator and that bumper, just to help show there's something going on back there. Okay, now let's start putting some grasses back down in front of this. So with a texture brush, really open that brush up. Some dark sienna, some green. Really open that brush up. Back over here, these are being kind of shadows. This is going to be a little darker. Here we get some tall grasses kind of hiding in front of that little hot rod, hiding in the front of the barn. Really get some grasses coming back over here. Once again, the darker colors, there might be a little bit of shadow from the silo right here. We'll get the, kind of set that down. Now I want to wipe that off. Go with some yellow ochre, that a little lighter, because that sun kind of coming through the middle of those two structures. You might see a little bit more light coming through here. A little bit more light. Got to get some of that grass growing up the side of that, some grass growing up the side of that. Really be kind of loose with this. You can see those shadows through the grass. Really gives that nice deep plush look in the grass. Once again, you don't want to go across like a typewriter. You want to keep this brush kind of loose, kind of moving around. Loose and kind of moving around a little bit. Kind of that shadow would be kind of the shape of the barn there. Now I'm going to go with just some cad yellow. Just really get some highlight. Maybe a little bit of that white. Really get some highlight coming through there. Really light those grasses up. That's where the highlight's coming through. Really light those grasses up through there. This is, I saw the light, now I can see the light now. Now get rid of some extra color. You might see a little bit of light coming through some of those taller, darker grasses in the shadow. A little bit of light. I like the way that's looking at. Oh, we got to get the roof. We can get a roof painted. Let's go with a little flat brush, a little small flat brush. Get kind of a gray color, gray bluish kind of color again. It's a steel roof. Make it a little lighter. Kind of a gray blue kind of color. Get that roof. It's an old steel roof, but let's get him colored in. And that eave over here, when you get to that eave colored in. Get some of that steel color. If it's an old steel roof, you might see some rusty spots. So if we go some dark sienna, pull a little bit of dark sienna down through there. Get a little feel of a little bit of a rusty roof going on there. A little bit of rust. An old metal roof, got a little carried away there. Now we just need just some dark, just some black. That eave over here would be totally black. It's in the shadow. Let's set that eave apart there. There, I like the way that's looking. Now I always like to see, oh, got to sign my name to this. My favorite thing to do, almost forgot to do, and I can't find my liner brush. There it is. Found my liner brush. Going to some black. I'm going to come down over here, get some more of this black. Sign my name right there. Now I always like to see these in a frame, but this is not going to go in a frame, but it has this tape all around here. So I'm going to start pulling some of this tape off before I pull her down so you can get the effect. Pull some of it. I may have to set her down for a second, pull this tape off so you can really get the feel of this framed. There, getting a lot of that coming off. It's just every time you see me do this, I would like to put it in a frame. We can't put this saw blade in a frame, but we're going to frame it out by having those teeth all dark like we have it there. Now where we at? We got a little bit on the top, a little bit over here. Let's get that off. That piece is being stubborn, but that's why we got a knife. We'll get. Gotta be careful with your tools. Don't throw your tools down the floor. Get that little piece of tape. There, that's why we make knives. Get that off there. Now we're gonna have to take it down and get that last little piece of the top off. We're gonna take it down, set it up on an easel so you can see it. So we'll get that out of the way. I'm gonna set this down over here a second. Pull that last little bit of tape off. There, now I can take this over and set it on the easel so you can see what it looks like. Here we go. I always like to see a painting in a frame, but since we don't have a frame this time, we're just going to set this right up in the easel. Just like so. See if that's about straight. There, that painting is called I Saw the Light. If you have any questions or would like to learn more about the wet on wet painting or to know more about classes, feel free to get a hold of me at jdwayne@therockandrollpainter.com. Thank you.